Morning, everyone. Again, welcome to our monthly business breakfast. What a great networking opportunity has become. And I think it started under Mayor Flickinger's term, which goes back a few years, and it's good to see the mayor with us today. We've got a bunch of politicians here, retired and otherwise. And of course, that all points to the fact that there's going to be an election here before long. And I'm not going to take time to recognize all my cohorts in crime, I guess. I don't want to say that. But I do want to recognize my council people, Diane Foster and Joe Bigliotti, with us, and of course our city manager, Henry Hine. Glad to have those. The other politicians are on their own. They're going to have to introduce themselves, but we welcome you and wish you well. We got a great weekend ahead. We've got a great month ahead. Thanksgiving's coming up. I hope you all have a very pleasant and blessed and safe Thanksgiving. That'll occur before we meet again, and then Christmas is upon us. It's amazing. I just want to put in a plug for our Christmas tree lighting, which will be on December the 7th. 6th is Starry Night. Somebody's going to talk about that, I'm sure. The 7th is our Christmas tree lighting. It'll be at the police station downtown. Always a lot of fun, and for the kids, Santa will probably come. He said that he was going to try to make it, I heard. And there'll be coffee and hot chocolate and fun for everyone. So make sure you try to set aside a few minutes on Saturday, the 7th of December, Pearl Harbor Day, to celebrate sister. So.
And the truth is, most Stambaughs own a business, and it's not because we're so inspiring or energetic. It's because we're too hard-headed to work for anybody else. And so, and I am no exception. I am following in a long line of entrepreneurs in my family. My father owns a 50-year-old painting business that's been in Taneytown the whole time. And so entrepreneurship is in my blood, and it's something that over the last few years, I've become an entrepreneur myself, starting 2 companies. It's really technically the same company, but they're 2 distinct entities. Wevival, which is a full-service online marketing and advertising agency, as well as Hometown Startups, which powers local startup business competitions in partnership with organizations and communities across the country. And what I hope to share with you this morning is a bit about what I've learned about starting a business, not only about starting a business, but what I've learned about starting a business here in Carroll County. And so to start our whirlwind tour, I want to make a point. I'm not talking about starting up a business this morning that's a big business. We always think of BGE, we think of Apple, we think of Microsoft. These are big businesses. I'm talking about the small businesses, not just small businesses, but micro businesses. The truth is that over 86% of businesses in this country are non-employer firms, meaning solopreneur firms, or companies with less or 4 or less employees. These are micro businesses. And interestingly, and you might not think you're a big deal having a small business like that, but the truth is you are a big deal because micro businesses were the only business types to create jobs during the economic downturn. So again, if you have a micro business, thinking about starting one, even though you feel like it's small, you're making a really, really big impact on our economy. And so to help you on your way this morning, so let's just assume for a second that you're thinking about starting a business. Well, everyone wants to know the recipe. And the truth is, if I had an exact recipe with all the ingredients and all the exact instructions of how to do it, I would be a multi-billionaire and I would not be here this morning. But what I do know, based on experience and talking to lots of folks who are smarter than myself, I've learned that every business has 4 primary ingredients. And the first among them is passion. Passion is the catalyst that drives someone to take the plunge to start a business in the first place. And it's also something that's undeniable when you see it. And I'll tell you that if your eyes don't widen and your blood pressure doesn't rise and you don't start talking with your hands when you're talking about your products and services, you're going to be in deep, deep trouble because the road to starting and growing a successful business is very long and it's very hard. Now, we all know we've met passionate people, right? And passion has a way of carrying people in a million directions at once, getting absolutely nowhere fast. And so passion needs to be focused and directed. And the thing that focuses and directs passion is that business dream. This business dream is the point where you can see products and services, when you can see the smiles on customers' faces, when you can see your logo sitting on the side of your work truck, when you can see that employee who will inevitably drink too much at your Christmas party. That is the point where you have that business dream, that focus, that passion, and you know exactly at that point what you're working for. And it's at this point when people start talking a lot about their idea. They're very, very excited. They cannot wait to get going. They're telling everyone and their brother about what they're about to do. And let me tell you from experience, this is the most exciting time to be an entrepreneur, where that passion meets that business dream. But let me tell you, once that all comes together, you have a few weeks of good feelings, good vibes, just really patting yourself on the back, and then a cold, hard reality is going to smack you in the face. And that is that your business dream will absolutely, positively not come true. It's going to have to be hammered and forged with a heck of a lot of hard work. And now we all know that when you start a business, it's going to be 60, 80, 100-hour work weeks. It's going to be a lot of work. And up there on the screen is a partial list of things. That was a stream of consciousness of all the things that I had thought about at the time when I was doing this presentation. But it's not the quantity of work that scares people. We're Americans. We're used to hard work. But there's three kinds of work that make starting a business very, very, very hard. And the first kind is that as an entrepreneur, you're going to be doing tons of work that you don't want to do. Every day I spend 60% of my day at least doing stuff that I frankly just don't want to do. The second thing is, as an entrepreneur, you're going to have to do things that you don't know how to do. There's a million things that I don't know how to do that I have to figure out how to do every day, or find someone who knows, or get training or education. But then there's the third kind of work, and this is the most devious kind of work. This is the work that you didn't know that you had to do in the first place. This is where you make mistakes. This is where you underbid projects. This is where you forget to file a certain form with your taxes and get audited. These are the mistakes that bury businesses in this country. So if you're able to push through that wall, you're able to figure out how to do those things you don't know how to do, you're able to get over yourself and do the things you don't want to do, and you overcome your first few hurdles of those things that you didn't know that you had to do in the first place, you have another problem, which is that all this work needs to yield you cash, because if it doesn't, in the best possible case scenario, you have yourself a very, very expensive hobby, or in the worst case, you have a failed business. Another word about cash. I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, and they're always very excited. Oh, my logo looks so great. Oh, so-and-so told me my idea is absolutely amazing. Oh my gosh, my website is so beautiful. Then I have one question. Who's paying you money for product and service? Because that is the thing that is going to help you grow your business and is going to make it sustainable. And so when you start a business, I know that it's very, very exciting, and I know that there's a lot of personal energy and capital and dreams and hopes all wrapped up into it. But I encourage you, and the one thing when you think about cash, it often squashes some dreams. But the point being that when you start your business, think about getting cash for products and services early and often. All right. So, our formula for starting and growing a business here in the county is that passion plus dream plus work equals cash. This is the formula. When I talk about cash, it's not making millions of dollars. What's on the other end of that equal sign is your X. Whatever you need to make to feed your family, whatever you need to make to pay your employees, whatever you need to make to pay your mortgage, that's what that cash looks like. And that's the reality of most small businesses in this country. And the trouble is that figuring out this formula is incredibly hard to do, and it's particularly hard to do alone. But the one thing that I'm proud to say that I've learned about Carroll County is that in Carroll County, you do not have to figure this out all by yourself. There are a wealth of resources here in the community, and I'm going to highlight one of them here this morning. And that resource is the Carroll Business Path. Some people will get confused and think that I'm a sales rep for the Business Path, but in truth, I really, truly believe this is one of the smartest things this county has done, at least since I've been alive, in terms of helping entrepreneurs get going. Because the beauty of this is that you make one phone call, you set up one appointment, you have one meeting, and you find out all of the resources that are available that are unique to you as an entrepreneur starting to grow your unique business here in the county. And so if you're thinking about starting a business or you're looking to expand one, calling the Business Path is your number one task that you absolutely need to do to get going. And I really think they've been transformative, and I think the last stat was that out of the 318 people they've met with in the last fiscal year, 31 businesses were started through these consultations. So I think they've had incredible success, and the Business Path is composed of 5 partners that I'm pleased to introduce you to. The first one, and this is kind of the top one on the list, is Carroll County Department of Economic Development. they have two programs that I think you need to know about. The first is that there is a $25,000 small business loan program. This is a loan program designed for Carroll Biz Path participants to get access to capital just before the point where they're bankable. So if you got turned down from a bank loan or really unsure of the process, I recommend that you stop by the Business Path and talk to them because this capital is designed, again, to help entrepreneurs get money just before the point where a bank is willing to back them. The second program, and when I made this slide, it didn't have an official name, but it's the Know Before You Go program. It's designed for small businesses who are looking to occupy brick and mortar or to expand a brick and mortar location to get the help that they need to navigate the permit process from start to finish so that there is nothing that's unexpected that crops up as you plan to occupy a physical space here in Carroll County. Phenomenal program. Reach out to them to get more information about those programs. The second one is the Miller Center for Small Business, and this is part of Carroll Community College. This is the #1 resource locally for entrepreneurs who need to figure out how to do stuff with their business. The good news is they offer tons of non-credit courses. I'm always astounded by not just the breadth of classes, but the specificity of classes they offer, and these are non-credit courses, which means that they're pretty cheap. They're very, very inexpensive, and they're offered on weeknights, and sometimes they're one night, sometimes they're 3 nights. Check out their course catalog for those. They also offer lots of dynamic programming in partnership with other organizations in the county that help entrepreneurs be better, their professional development opportunities. The third partner is, admittedly, I'm very, very involved here, and this is the Carroll County Chamber of Commerce. I've heard it said that if you're not visible, you're invisible, and that is precisely what the Chamber helps small businesses to solve here in the county. They help you get noticed, and they do that through tons of events, lots of networking opportunities that help you to develop and grow those relationships that are essential for your business. The fourth partner is the SBTDC. This organization is housed in the same building as the Miller Center, and their specialty is private and confidential business counseling. The beauty of this is that they help you with your business plan with the hopes of preparing you to get loans. This process is incredibly difficult. They offer this service for free, and they even help you navigate getting loans from organizations like the SBA, which is an absolute nightmare if you try to do it on your own. So it's an incredible resource we have. They also have on their website what's called a virtual advisor, which you sign up for an account, and they have tons of free web-based resources, again, to help you figure out how to do all those things you don't know how to do. And the last partner is the Carroll Tech Council. I'm a new member here, and I've been really, really impressed with their programming because what they're trying to do is help entrepreneurs, business leaders in the community understand 21st century technology and how it can be put to work in your business. And so they have wonderful programming throughout the year. I encourage you, if you think technology could be a part of your business or are wondering if it could, checking out some of their sessions will give you some great ideas. And so that rounds out the business path. Again, you make one phone call, set up one appointment, have one meeting, and you gain access to all the resources from all 5 of these organizations that are unique to you. You don't make 5 phone calls, return 35 voicemails. Again, it's one appointment. It's a beautiful program. I encourage you to check it out. And we have 2 other things that aren't business path related that I want to spend a few moments talking to you about this morning. The first is, this past September, we had a big bus roll into town that was emblazoned with the Maryland flag. And this bus is part of the Pitch Across Maryland tour. Basically, this is a bus that travels around throughout the state of Maryland, allowing entrepreneurs to step onto the bus and film a business pitch in the hopes of getting their names, faces, and companies in front of venture capital. I'll preface this with their bus is all about high-growth businesses. And so if you're in Carroll County and you have a big idea that has multi-million-dollar potential, you absolutely tell your friends, tell everybody you know who's local who might have a high-growth business idea. This is an incredible opportunity for them, and we were honored to have them come out this year. They stopped at the LSA building, which is Land, Sea, and Air. They just bought the Kenora Brake facility. A great event. We had about 75, 80 people show up for that. Wonderful experience. So expect that bus is coming back sometime next September. And the next event is one that I'm very, very involved in because I run it. This was the pilot that started Hometown Startups. I currently have 4 startup business competitions that are happening right now across the state of Maryland. And it all started right here in Carroll County in partnership with the Carroll County Chamber of Commerce last year. And so what the Carroll Biz Challenge is, and this is the best way I've found to describe it to people, it's like American Idol meets Shark Tank, only it's for local entrepreneurs, the small businesses that are in our community. And it's an opportunity for them to submit their business pitches to make some great connections, get loads of publicity, and compete for a $5,000 cash prize, in addition to some other prizes. And we just concluded our process this year. We had on October 15th as our deadline. We had 15 applications, and we've narrowed our pool down to our 5 finalists who will pitch at our live American Idol styled event coming up on November 22nd from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., which will be held at McDaniel College. This event is $25 to get in, but I promise you will leave entertained, you will leave energized, and you will leave impressed with the incredibly talented entrepreneurs that we have right here in our midst in Carroll County. And just a word to whet your palate a little bit for who's going to be pitching there. We have a company called Stratosphere Trampoline Park. It's a trampoline park for big kids. It's for adults, professional development opportunities. They have competitive dodgeball, things like that. An incredible facility that's located in Eldersburg. Our second finalist is Voice Vibes, which is a wearable technology device that monitors your vocal patterns to tell you when you're being condescending, using foul language, or whatever else might be a professional liability for you. That's their vision, is to help you track and analyze your speech. And I know I need that because I do a heck of a lot of talking all the time. So that's right, that'd be great. We give Haven one for free and let him pilot it. And our third one is a company called Muffin Bomb. As the name implies, they give these large gift baskets that are filled with muffins, and tons of muffins that are individually wrapped. I have a nice little color-coded ribbon that matches with a decoder with a beautiful story on it for the families who get these when they have new kids or when they have a death in the family. It's meant to be that kind of gift for folks, and so they're one of our finalists. We also have a lavender farm called Silver Linings Lavender Farm. Their goal is to have a lavender farm here in the county that is both a destination for tourists, for photographers, for weddings, as well as making natural and organic lavender products right there in their facility. And our fifth one, and I knew I was going to run into this point where I forgot the fifth one. What's that? No, this is awful. I should know them. Anyway, they're all 5 on the website. I won't waste your time trying to remember it, but we have a great
social media one.
Indy That. Boom! There we go. Thanks, Donna. Donna Shabunko from Simply Paws was an applicant this year. And Indy That is our 5th finalist, and they are a social network that is trying to offer a more personalized local experience for social networking. It's an incredibly dynamic group of young folks, I mean very young here in the county. I think the oldest one might be 23 years old. But they have a very, very ambitious project that seems to have a lot of potential and a lot of legs, and so you'll get to hear all 5 of these finalists take the stage and give their best business pitch. And interestingly, they'll be grilled by 4 local judges who are entrepreneurs who have built businesses in our community. Last year it was the most interesting time. We have some very entertaining judges. The one that I'm looking forward to, because I know what he's going to be like again, is Josh Cohn. He is the Simon Cowell character. He will be asking entrepreneurs hard questions, like, how are you going to make money? That was like a question he asked last year. I think it was his first question. And then we also have Terry Smack, who I hope, if you know Terry, she's wonderful, fun-loving. She's the Paulo Abdul. I think her and Josh Cohn are going to be button heads quite a bit. So a great show, November 22nd, $25. Support local entrepreneurs. And so to recap this morning, it's passion plus dream plus work equals cash. That is the recipe for successful startup businesses. And if you want to get this right, you absolutely need to call the Carroll Business Path, because in Carroll County, we start up local. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Is there any questions? How many of you are business owners here in the audience? Thank you very much for doing business in Carroll County too. And let's support the other ones trying to start out.